Nicotine. You might first think tobacco, vaping, addiction, and abuse. But what if there's a longer acting, smaller dose form of nicotine available? There is. There's toothpicks, there's lozenges, transdermal nicotine patches, pouches. These alternative forms of nicotine are safer than tobacco and vaping products because they don't pose the public health risk of pulmonary issues or cancer. Nicotine is proposed recently in the literature as a potential nootropic. By Cornelio Giorgio's definition, is a drug which does not have the pharmacology of most common drugs and recreational drugs. Nicotine can fall into this category in these alternative forms because it is metabolized differently in a more tonic manner, which is less phasic. The tonic activation of nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, which is a superfamily of ligand-gated ion channels, leads to the influx of calcium, potassium, and sodium ions depolarizing the cell. This can release neurotransmitters, beta endorphins, and affect other things in neuronal and non-neuronal tissues. For instance, neuronal would affect cognition, memory, and coordination, and skeletal muscle would affect inflammation, immunity, and cell growth. The nicotinic acetylcholine receptors are about 14 different subtypes made up of alpha 1 through alpha 7, alpha 9, alpha 10, beta 1 through beta 4, delta, epsilon, and gamma subunits. The alpha subunit always partakes in the ligand binding site. In particular, the alpha 7 homopentamer is highly permeable to calcium ions. This depolarization of the cell leads into an action potential which releases the neurotransmitters and influences downstream different enzyme expression. Based on the composition of the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, it can affect downstream activation of synthesis of adenylyl cyclase, calcium calmodulin dependent kinase, protein A and C kinase, and phosphatidylinositol 3 kinase. In short, nicotine is a potential nootropic in these alternative forms because it doesn't contain flavorings, excipients, or other complicating factors and can improve cognition, memory, and performance due to its tonic release of neurotransmitters into the cell.